Baby short.
Okay, there you go. Watch your step.
Watch your step there, folks, okay?
Thank you.
Давай сюда садись.
Там на матушке не поместится.
Ты разложился.
Люд, давай меньше займем.
Где я? И так
Бери к себе. Сюда, хочешь, чтобы мы подвинемся? Ты
Там телечек. Вид испортила.
Comes from that behind us when it flows into the Red River at the very end of the Assiniboine right here. We'll go there in a bit. First, we're going to turn the breeze up, head west. Off we go. Was made in France. It's actually a bronze statue put up there in 1919. They gave him the gold leaf finish first in the 1950s. But I grew up with a very tarnished and dull kind of greenish boy. And I thought he was this big my whole life until they pulled him down in the early 2000s. We learned that he's 17 and a half feet to the top of the torch that he's holding up there. 25 meters. But more important is the statue at the top of the steps. Louis Riel, the leader of the Red River Resistance, the founding father of Manitoba. He was leader of the Métis Nation when the Hudson's Bay Company, the fur trading company, was controlling the Northwest, controlling Rupert's Land, this vast swath of land in the Northwest. And there was this Canadian party out east in a country called Canada, way over there. And they were meddling with the situation in the Red River Valley. Shipping, and it went about a kilometer away from us, just over half a mile, widthwise from the Main Street bridges behind us to the Red River in front of us, lined with dozens and dozens of brick buildings, only a few of which remain, like the Johnson Terminal from 1930, the Children's Museum behind it in a building from 1868, and then the FORKS Market buildings where all the little walk-up restaurants are. So those are two separate buildings from 1909 to 1910, and they were horse stable buildings. Two rail buildings. Building, but they also had over 100 years of cleanup. All those buildings up there were restored in the 1980s. And just ahead of us is the confluence of the Assiniboine and Red Rivers. The Red River begins in the U.S. at Breckenridge, Minnesota, Washington, North Dakota, at the confluence of the Bois de Sioux and Otter Tail Rivers. Flows 880 kilometers, approximately 550 miles north to Lake Winnipeg. The meeting of the two rivers has very, very deep history. In more recent, yet still deep history, the French explorer La Vérendrye arrived here in 1738, set up Fort Rouge to the right, just behind me here. Kicked off the big fur trade of the Northwest. But different indigenous nations from all corners of the continent were using the meeting of these two rivers as a central gathering place to trade with each other. So the lands around here are littered with layers and layers and layers of artifacts from all over the continent. And a good example would be the Udena Celebration Circle, just spacing the trees on the left of its curved poles up on the stone pillars. It's a big bowl carved out of the earth there. And Udena is the Ojibwe word for part of the community. And when they dug that up, they brought the archaeologists in to check it out, and they found layers of artifacts like seashells that only exist in the Gulf of Mexico, sitting alongside seashells that only exist on the west coast of Canada. And the oldest thing in that little thing was a stone hearth used for cooking that they dated back 6,000 years.
Wow.
And all the water from both rivers is going to go north. It's going to go through Lake Winnipeg, eventually drain down the Nelson River way up north past the polar bears of northern Manitoba, and you look at the vehicle bridge, you'll see the artwork. You can see it from the boat, but it's way better when you're on the footbridge. Check out that big band of black granite up there and the way the light hits the artwork on the left. Weaving in and out of all these cultural symbols, all the different cultures of the Red River settlement era. And earlier, yeah, the best way to see that is to get up on this footbridge and stroll across. So the